What's up, y'all? I'm ready to teach y'all. I got some regular playing cards. I'm about to teach y'all how to play Texas Hold'em poker. This is like pretty much the #1 poker game that you'll see. You can walk in any casino, and if they got a poker room, more than likely the majority of the tables are going to be Texas Hold'em. Okay. So before I get to the dealing part, I'm gonna just teach you the basics of from the lowest hand to the strongest hand. All right. So you might need to get your pen and paper. All right. So, well, hold on. Let me tell y'all something basically too. So in Texas Hold'em, you're only gonna get dealt 2 cards. All right. So these 2 cards will determine your hand, and then the dealer will deal from there. But before we get to that, so you got 2 cards. The ace is basically the strongest card. The 2 is the weakest. Doesn't matter the suit. Any suit, ace is the biggest card. The deuce is the smallest. All right. So with that being said, you got 2 cards. So it could be, well, now they changed it to how many people can sit at a table. Before it was 10. I'm not sure. Different casinos vary, but at MGM right now it's 7. 7 players at a table. So the dealer will deal all 7 players 2 cards. So now you look at your hand and determine how the strength of your hand based off of your 2 cards. So if you got an ace, that's pretty decent. But if you got an ace and a 2, that's not that strong of a hand, but it's not bad. Before I go too far, so I'm just wanting to tell you that. So like I said, the very first winning hand, if nothing else is on the board, you could win with an ace and a deuce. If nobody else got an ace, you the only person at the table with an ace, you can win that hand. The next winning hand would be a pair. So a pair would be two aces. You don't have to have these 2 aces in your hand. You use the 2 cards out of your hand and you're using 3 cards on the board. The dealer's gonna deal 5 cards on the board. So you can use any combination of those 5 cards with your 2 cards in your hand to build the strength of your hand. So if it's nothing else on the board and you got 2 aces in your hand and there's nothing that can beat your 2 aces, you will win that hand. So this is a pair. The next strength hand is 2 pair. So 2 pairs basically, it's say you got these 2 aces in your hand and then it's 2 deuces on the board. You got your aces, you got those deuces, and then you're using an extra card on the board because you got to use 3. That third card on the board will be your kicker, and that will determine your overall hand. So that would in turn give you 2 pairs. So you'll have aces and 2s with, let's say it's a 3. That'll be your hand. So you will win that hand with 2 pairs. 2 pairs stronger than 1 pair. All right. The next strength hand is 3 of a kind. So let's say you got your aces. There's another ace on the board. Now you got 3 aces. So you still got to use the other 2 cards. So let's say you got your 2 aces in your hand. The ace that's on the board, let's say it's a jack and a 5. That's your hand. You're using whatever 3 cards, the strongest that the dealer dealt, to go with your hand, but you will have 3 of a kind because you already got 2 aces in your hand plus the ace that's on the board. And then the other 2 cards you got to use just by default because you have to use all 5 cards. Your 2 and then 3 from the board. The next hand, strength hand, is a straight. So let me show you what a straight is. A straight is any number order of cards. They go in order. They don't even got to be the same suit, but you got to use 5. All right, so it'll be, let me put it in order for y'all. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so this is a straight. 1, the ace will act as a 1, so the ace would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a straight. But I shouldn't have showed you like this because this is more than a straight. This is a straight flush. So let me show you with another suit so you don't get confused. I don't want to confuse y'all too early. So let me just grab another 2. Make it simple. All right, so even with the 2 of clubs, so it could be any suit. This could be just like this is a club, This could be a diamond or spade, any other card. As long as they go in number order, they don't got to be the same suit. If they the same suit, that's another hand. We'll get to that later. But right now, I just wanted you to know 1, 2, 5, because you got to use all 5 cards. This is a straight. So let's say you had ace 2 in your hand. These are 3 of the 5 cards that's on the board that the dealer dealt. You use these 3 with your 2 to make a straight. All right. Now the next strength hand is a flush. A flush is any suit. If you got 5 of the same suit, it doesn't have to be in order to get a flush. So let me mix this up a little bit, y'all. My bad. Because I didn't shuffle this deck. Because I wanted to be able to find the cards I needed to find easy. Put that right there. Throw that to the side. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So this is a flush. This is a flush. So let's say you had the Queen of Hearts. You had the Queen of Hearts and the 3 of Hearts. This was the 2 cards that you were dealt before the dealer dealt any cards on the board. And then these 3 cards hit the board. That would give you a flush. All right. So a flush beats a straight. So I'm going in order so you know what beats what, because that's the most important thing about poker. All that poker face shit, all that comes later once you start playing with bigger money. But if you just playing basic poker, $100 buy-in, $40 buy-in, all that poker face shit don't matter. As long as you know the strength of your hand and you know if you winning or losing by what's on the board. That's the most important thing. All right, boom. So now the next hand that could beat a straight is a flush. I'm sorry, I already told. I'm sorry. I told you about a flush. Disregard. So the next hand that could be the flush is a full house. So a full house would be, bring these aces back. So you have the aces. You will need the other queen at. Queen, and then another ace. Where's the other ace at? I need one more ace. Hold on, y'all. My bad. All right. So let's say you got this in your hand. You got these aces again. Now this ace hits the board. Now you got 3 aces. But then you got these 2 queens hit the board. So now you will have use all 5 cards. This is your hand. This is a full house. You had these 2 cards in your hand. The dealer put this on the board and this on the board. So you're using these to make your full house. All right, so if somebody had it straight and then this came out, you would beat that straight with this, with your full house, okay? All right, boom. My bad, y'all. I'm just going through. All right. So that's a full house. A full house is 3 of a kind plus 2 pair. Because you gotta use 5 cards. So the 3 of a kind, that's your 3. The pair makes the 2. That combined makes the full house. So once I show you how the board look, then things will start to make a little bit more sense right now. But it's important that you just write this stuff down so that you know what hand beats what hand. And also I would advise you to download like an app. They free, ones where you don't have to gamble real money, and put one of the Texas Hold'em games on your phone so you can practice, because it'll tell you the strength of your hands on the game, and you'll learn what beat what before you actually start using your real money and gambling. All right. So now, what could be the full house? 4 of a kind. All right. This is a very strong hand. It's hard to get, but you can get it. So you started out with 2 queens in your hand. Then the dealer put 2 queens on the board. You're going to use your 2 queens combined with these. That's 4 of a kind. So now you got a pretty strong hand. It's only 2 hands that can beat 4 of a kind. So if you got this, you pretty much got a locked hand. And then you use whatever else on the board. You got to use 1 more card. So let's just say it's a deuce on the board. So you'll have 4 of a kind with a deuce. If they have high hands in in the casino when you go, this will definitely be qualifying for a high hand. And you probably might win you some extra money. You ain't gotta worry about the table. All right, so 4 of a kind beats a full house. So the next hand that could beat the 4 of a kind is a straight flush. Like I mistakenly had the cards in order earlier and I was showing you, but straight flush is very, very hard to get, but powerful hand. So that would be, let me get these cards back again. Boom, boom. So you use 5. So if you had these in order, these 5 cards right here, this is a straight flush. One of the second strongest hand in poker. This is the second to the most strongest hand in poker. It's only one hand that can beat this right here. All right, only one. So let's say you had ace, 5 in your hand. The dealer put this on the board. You use these 3 cards with your 2 cards and you get a straight flush. All right. The only hand that is very, very hard to get in poker, it's extremely hard. The only hand that could beat a straight flush is a royal flush. All right, so that goes ace, king, queen, jack 10. You gotta go all the way to the ace. This, my friends, is the baddest hand in all of poker. All right. This is if they got high hand, this is an instant winner. If they got high hand in the casino, you instantly win whatever the high hand is, and nobody can beat you at the table. There's no hand that can beat this. None. You spank them. You win, you get this right here, bet everything. Put all your money in there. You can win everything. Nobody can beat you. Nobody can beat this hand. This is the strongest hand in poker. All right. So I'm just went over the basics. I got it written down right here from pair. All the way down to royal flush, which is the strongest hand. Y'all write this down. This is gonna be part 1. Part 2, I'm gonna play the dealer, and I'm gonna show you how the dealer deals. I'm gonna show you what's called a flop, which would be the first 3 cards the dealer turns over. I'm gonna show you about the turn card, which is the 4th card, and then I'm gonna show you about the river. That's the 5th card that the dealer puts out on the board after they deal everybody at the table their 2 cards. And then when I do that, when I'm acting as the dealer, I'll go over the betting process of how you can bet, fold, etc. So today, just take this information, process it, write it down so you know the strength of your hands. Download the Texas Hold'em app